Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Good morning. It is the 29th of Shawwal, the year 5777, and it's February 25th, 2017. Today's Torah portion is Mishpatim, and Mishpatim, and it's Exodus 21:1 through 24:18, and it's 2 Kings 11:17 through 12:17. And then prophets Samuel 2018 and 2042. Now, this falls upon just before Adar 1. And traditionally, the Holy Temple stood in Jerusalem, and each Yahudi contributed the annual half shekel. And the first of Adar marked the beginning of this collection of the Shekalim, shekels. And the Torah portion that usually falls just before Alder 1 or on this day is usually supplemented now with a reading from Exodus 30 through 11, I believe, 30 11 through 16. Yeah. And so the Mishpatim, remember last week we covered a little bit with the commandments, and then the laws concerning the treatment of workers and slaves, obviously, and laws concerning injury to people. Remember, we covered the eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And so today's Torah portion really gets into how we should treat each other, and how we should treat strangers, our brothers, our sisters, and we can fast forward to what Yeshua said. We should love our Elohim with all our hearts and minds and spirit, and love our neighbors as ourselves. And these are the most important, because all the rest of those commandments fall and hang upon them. So it's a beautiful thing, So here we go. I'm going to skip over because I find this very interesting. Let me get started. And it's called counting. It's Exodus 30:11. Now it's called counting the Israelites. I find this very interesting because here's what it says. Then Yahuwah said to Moses, when you take census of the Israelites, each person must pay Yahuwah a ransom now for his life when he is counted. Then no plague will happen to them when they are counted. Each person is counted must give 1/5 of an ounce of silver, using the standard weight of the holy place. Now remember, in the yard going in, they would have a scale, and they would weigh, even if you remember when Yeshua went in, and in Yeshua's time when Rome had taken over and all that, before they went into the temple, you remember there was coins that had Caesar's picture on it, right? Well, that's blasphemy. So what you would do is you would take that coin, the Roman coin, and they would weigh it and give you a shekel in return, right? So, and then you would pay your census with that instead of a coin with Caesar's face on it, and because it goes against the commandments, graven images and all that, and it's blasphemy, putting somebody, But anyway, so let's go on. It says counting each person counted 1/5. That's a shekel, okay, and this is called a shekalim, if I'm saying that right. And then 1/5 the ounce of silver contributed to Yahuwah. Everyone counted who is at least 20 years old must give this contribution to Yahuwah. The rich must give more, or not give more. Okay, the rich must not give more than 1/5 of an ounce of silver. So everybody is the same here. There's no if you're rich or you're poor. Everybody's got to come up with this reasonable gift to the temple. And, you're giving it to Yahuwah. It's his holy place. And so 1/5 silver. And then the poor must not give less either. Everybody had to give it. If you were poor, if you were rich, you best come up with this. This contribution is given to make peace with Yahuwah and make your lives acceptable to Yahuwah. Take the money the Israelites give to make peace with Yahuwah, and use it to pay the expenses of the tent meeting. So, remember, this was actually before the temple was built. They had the tent, in the courtyard, and all these things were set up. And, it would, keep things going. This keeps it all going. The showbread and all these things, the oils and all those expenses that it takes to run a temple. So this contribution is given to make peace with Yahuwah and make your life acceptable to Yahuwah. Take the money the Israelites give and make. Apologize, people. Take the money the Israelites give to make peace with Yahuwah and use it to pay the expenses of the tent meeting. It will be a reminder for the Israelites in Yahuwah's presence that the sins in their lives are removed. Very interesting that they're taking a census to be counted. Each person, is paying actually a ransom. That's very interesting. A ransom. You're paying a ransom for your life. Interesting. So let's go on a little more. This is beyond, I believe. Beyond it, just the 30 to 11. We went beyond it, but I want to go with this bronze basin and see what this says. Yahuwah said to Moses, "Make a bronze basin with bronze stand for washing. Put it between the tent of meeting and the altar." So where they used to meet, and I believe that's where they would teach Torah, and then you'd have the altar, and fill it with water. Aaron and his sons will use it for washing their hands and feet. Remember, they took care of all the the wood and the sacrifices and all that. Remember, they had to have the special wood and all these things before they go into the tent for the meeting. They must wash so they will not die. They must be clean. They have to be clean. You can't go in there. I mean, it's just physically, but spiritually as well. But before they come in near the altar to serve as priests and burn an offering by fire to Yahweh. they must and will wash their hands and feet so they will not die. So you got to be clean in the presence of the Most High. This will be a permanent law for him and his descendants for generations to come. Interesting. So let's go on. The oil for anointing. Yahweh said to Moses, take the finest spices, 12.5 pounds of powdered myrrh, half as much, that is 6 1/4 pounds of fragrant cinnamon, which is my favorite. I love cinnamon and myrrh, but cinnamon is fantastic. Fragrant cane. I wonder. That's kind of like cane. I'm not sure. Like maybe it's I don't know, sugar cane. 12.5 pounds of cassia. I don't know what that is. All weighted using a standard weight in the holy place, and 4 quarts of olive oil. Yum. And have the perfumer make these into a holy oil, a fragrant mixture used only for anointing. This will be the holy oil used for anointing. Use it to anoint the tent meeting, the ark, containing the words of my promise. I like that. The Most High's promise. The table, all the dishes, the lampstands, the utensils, the altar for the incense, the altar for burnt offerings, and all its accessories, and the basin with its stand. Everything would be smelling good. This is a way you will dedicate them to their holy purpose. Then they will be most holy, and anything that touches them will become holy. I like that too. Kadesh, set apart. Anoint Aaron and his sons as well. In this way, you will set them apart for their holy duties of serving me, Yahweh, as priests. Say to the Israelites, for generations to come, this will be my holy oil used only for anointing. I'd like to get some of that. It must never be poured. Oh, wait a minute. It must never be poured on the bodies of other people. Okay, so that's a negative. Never make any perfumed oils using this formula. Okay, it is holy. It means, Kadesh, set apart under the Most High Yah. And you must treat it as Kadesh, holy. Whenever prepares a perfume like this and puts it on anyone is not a priest, must be excluded from the people. Here's some more about incense. The incense for use in the tent. Yahweh said to Moses, take 1 part of the fragrant spices, 2 kinds of gum resin, and aromatic mollusk shells, and mix them with 1 part frankincense. Have the perfumer make it into a fragrant incense, seasoned with salt, pure and holy. Grind some of it into a fine powder and put it in the front of the ark containing the words of my promise in the tent of the meeting, where I will meet you. You must treat it as holy, most holy. It means most set apart, most holy, Kadesh, under the Most High Yah. The word holy is vague. It can be used as in a lot of different places, but when you say Kadesh or Kadosh in certain circles, this means only set apart under the anointing of the Most High Yah. Never make any incense for yourselves using this formula either. Treat it as holy to Yahweh. Whoever prepares anything like it for his own enjoyment must be excluded from the people. So I don't want to make any of that either. Um, Okay, so we read a little bit more, but like we were talking about, the Holy Temple stood in Jerusalem, and each Yahudi, each Israelite, contributed that annual half shekel. And on the first of Addar, it marked the beginning of the collection of the Shekalim. On Torah portion that falls on this day is usually supplemented with that Exodus 30 through 11. So Shabbat Shalom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Peace upon you. Shalom Aleichem, and have a great day.